So I was wondering, do you guys have any interest in a game called Remnant from the Ashes?
I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
So I
Google it while you're talking.
T-Rex and Professor Broman actually went to their studio to play it and stream it live. I'm pretty sure that's the game that they did. So basically, just to give a really basic example of what it is, it's a third-person survival action shooter set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by monstrous creatures. As one of the last remnants of humanity, you'll set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors to face down hordes of deadly enemies and epic bosses. So it's you can choose to play with other people. You can play through this entire game with 2 other people, up to 2 other people. I've seen some people describe it as Dark Souls with guns.
Okay,
it's interesting. But this comes out on August 20th, so pretty soon it's actually going to be releasing. And it looks beautiful. If you are able to look at any gameplay, it looks really, really good. They also say that so the worlds are dynamically generated. So every time you play through, it's going to be different. It has new maps in it, new different enemy encounters, new quest opportunities, and in-world events are all just generated by the engine. So that's really interesting. And then you can also upgrade and specialize your characters, so you can kill bosses and get the loot and make modifications to the stuff that you're using. So it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
Visually, I think it looks great.
Yeah, it does look good. I'm looking at it right now.
And
is it a looter or?
I don't know.
Is it like Diablo first-person shooter?
No, it's a third person.
It's third person.
Yeah.
Third person. Yeah. But yeah, all I've mostly, so I've looked into it a little bit. But yeah, it being procedurally generated or dynamically generated was very interesting. So every time you play, it's different.
That always makes me wonder if they're doing that, is there like is there a reason to play it over and over again? Or what kind of story? How long does the playthrough take? Because typically when they have procedurally generated levels, usually the playthroughs aren't very long to do a playthrough. Essentially, like it's a confined chunk of time.
Be a little bit shorter because it is $40. So it's not a full $60 game. It's a $40 game. And I don't know. Maybe there's different loot that you can get. It does say that there's hundreds of varieties of deadly enemies and 20 epic bosses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the epic bosses are supposed to be on the level of like a Dark Souls kind of situation.
20 epic bosses. And you probably have to like keep on playing to see all of them. Like do more random generated stuff.
So I know there's boss weapons, there's loot, and I know that they did say that if you want to take on like the toughest challenges to unlock the greatest rewards, you want to play with 2 other people, but you can play it solo if you want to. But yeah, there's going to be some challenges that you'd want to join up with people for.
Cool.
There's some wording on their website that has me a little bit concerned.
Okay. What is it?
There's VIP preview weekend access that comes out before August 20th. I guess it launches on August 20th.
Yes.
You can also buy a temporary XP boost.
Oh.
Temporary XP boost.
Yeah.
For money?
For money.
It says there's a survivor pack. You'll need every advantage you can get to survive the nightmarish creatures and harsh environments of the apocalypse. Give yourself an early edge with this survivor pack, full of weapon crafting materials to improve your artillery, medical supplies to keep you alive, and a temporary XP boost to give you a head start.
Hold up. They're giving you XP boost and supplies to craft with?
Yeah. Is this going to be a pay to play kind of thing?
I would.
Well, you got to pay money.
I would hope that you could get the regular version and you can still completely get through the game, but maybe it just takes you longer to be able to get the materials to craft and level up.
Interesting. Like everything about it seems interesting except that last little thing.
Yeah. I think
concerns me a little bit.
I think for a $40 game, I think I'd be down to give it a try because I think graphically it looks good.
Mm-hmm, it does.
And it definitely piques my interest with it being like a difficult game.
Difficult with the random generation stuff. I'm always a fan of randomly generated dungeons and all that and levels. And I'm waiting for like, No Man's Sky is one of like the premier examples of being able to do that, but something with a really solid story with randomly generated stuff. I'm waiting to see that get nailed,
Yeah.
Didn't
Diablo have randomly generated content in it?
Yeah, all the levels are randomly generated in Diablo, but that's not necessarily like a first person.
Bloodborne had the randomly generated dungeons.
The Chalice dungeons, they do have those, but again, they're not.
It's not part of the story, right? It's something that you do on the side.
Yeah, because this looks like it's part of the story. These levels.
It does, yeah. I would be really interested in checking it out and seeing what the story actually is like.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could just be one of those things that's light on story and just like gear up and
go kill things.
These bad guys. Yeah, there's bad guys.
Demon spawning there. Go kill them.
Get geared up, hang out with your friends, kill these things.
That's true.
It could be almost like a raid experience in Destiny, where there's a story ish, but it's really about like getting 6 friends together and going into that raid and busting your head against a wall for a little while, but finally getting through it and being triumphant in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
this looks cool. I'm gonna take a look at it.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried that it's gonna be a little shady.
We'll see. We could play it together.
That'd be fun.
3 people.
That'll make it fun.
DCP fight demons.
Doesn't matter if the game's any good or not. We'll make it fun. Is there any exploding barrels? Just asking for a friend.
Oh no.